What up, what up, what up? You know what time it is. One-on-one Wednesday at the DB Lab with Coach Vic. So here we go, man. All right, man. So you know we do this every year. We have the Senior Bowl and the Shrine Game, and then also the high school All-Star games as well. And so now that we have a lot of these games are starting now, this game actually, the Senior Bowl will be on tomorrow. I think they have the game tomorrow, so I'm gonna be watching that too. But nonetheless, without further ado, I have some one-on-ones we're gonna go over. You know we love these, so we're gonna go over these, and I have more. I was thinking about just doing one a day, but we'll see how this goes. If it ended up being more or less, whatever. But I don't want to give you guys the best value I possibly can. We're gonna go over some technique here. We're gonna get better, and we're gonna find a way to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So let's get ourselves ready here. Let me see here. Okay. Let me get myself ready to go. All right. So we got this USC cat number 13. I think that's Rice's son. Jerry Rice's son. I'm not sure his name, his full name. We have number 7 here from Toledo. One thing about it, man, and this is for all you guys. If you're going to high school, or if you're coming out of high school, you want to go to college. Excuse me. Or if you're coming out of college and you actually find yourself in a bowl or all-star game, you have to understand. Take notes from this guy number 7. His technique, although his technique wasn't great, he took almost all the reps, and you have to do that. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? And so, in this case, if you keep getting up, coaches got opportunity to evaluate you and see your tenacity and see your drive and your perseverance to get up there, even if you lose one or two, to keep coming up and getting better, right? And looking better and performing better. And so that's this guy right here, number 7 out of Toledo. I'm not sure who he is, but I guess he has a lot of buzz. But he took a lot of reps today, and anybody can do the same thing. He just chose to not stand back and wait, right? You know what I'm saying? You have to, man. Especially if your film doesn't, if you don't play in a great system in college or in high school, where you're not playing a lot of man to man. So you put in a lot of zone situations where coaches and scouts cannot evaluate you now because you don't play any man to man. That hurts athletes a lot who have the aspirations of going to college. If their coaches, defensive coordinator doesn't put them in man-to-man situations and in the proper zone situations, then it's hard to evaluate the kid unless he comes to a camp. But if he doesn't go to a camp, you might as well chalk it up, man, because it's hard to get evaluated that way. So nonetheless, I stress to make sure you guys get the camps. If you're in high school, if you want to go to college, get the camps. Take all the reps you can. And if you're in college, coming out of college, you're trying to get to a league opportunity, whether that's any one of these leagues, you have to take reps. You have to take the reps. Okay, so. With that said, let's get to work. All right, let's start off with our guy here from Toledo, stance and start. Okay, stance and start. His back a little too rounded for me, but I really think that his hamstrings are pretty tight, so I don't think he can really bend his back, straighten his back out like we all like it. So I'll say right here, we'll see how his leverage plays out. If he hops up, then we know that his back was too bended and he's not sitting down and allowing his glutes to activate. If he's able to stay down here, which I doubt, if he's able to stay down here in the same leverage and the same height, then we can move on with the other parts of his technique. His width of his feet is solid. I like him to be a little wider, like I said again, because it allows you to activate your glutes. But I imagine here, because he's so narrow, he's going to use the kick step, which also is an indicator for the receiver to know that you're going to use a kick step as well, and to know that he should just do a speed release, because speed release kills kick steps usually. A good proper speed release will kill a kick step. He's inside leverage, a little bit on top. I like that a lot. He's about 2 yards off. I like that a lot as well. I can see here where the receiver Rice is kind of getting away from him. He backing up a little bit instead of being on the line. He backing up off the line. That says a lot. Also, I tell my guys, whenever we see guys splits this wide, receivers split this wide, go get them. Go get them. Go take advantage of the opportunity there. But this guy didn't. But let's see. He's 2 yards off, back straight. I like to see him a little lower in his stance, feet a little wider. That's his stance and start there. His eyes look like in the right spot. Let's get to work. Here we go. All right. Receiver attack, first step. It was good. He didn't budge off of that too much. He used the kick. There you go. So you're gone. All right. So here we go, man. This is about the kick step, guys. This is the kick step stuff, man. This is the stuff I don't necessarily like the kick step, but I know guys are using it because college is a very systematic game. And what I mean by that is there's no creativity really on the receiver part in college. So everything is pretty cookie cutter, which means you can use a kick step because the releases are slower and they're wider. So you can get over rather quickly and explosively with a kick step and do fairly okay in college. But in the pros, that's not the case. Okay, so so here we go, trying to use a kick step. He's behind. All right, he's behind. Also, I like the fact that he didn't budge right here, but he also didn't get himself back. Right, he didn't get back in time enough. Bam, so he's behind already. Let's see what happens. He get in phase. That's good opportunity getting in phase right there. I wouldn't stick my hand out. I just kind of keep running with him if I'm him. Done deal. Run with him. Run with him. Let's see here. Good job. Hey, that's great. Now, this is the reason why there's a premium on speed, because you can really mess up the deal here at the beginning of at the start of the route here. You can really mess the deal up. But if you can run, and I know the Rice is pretty explosive, so that means his number 7 is pretty explosive as well. If you can run, you can get away, and you can get away with a lot of things, and it cleans up a lot of things for you when you can run. And so that's the reason why it's a premium on being able to run fast and having that quick twitch and being able to run, because you can really, clean up stuff, or correct things when you can run, right? It just helps, all right? It just helps, and that's a talent that can be taught in certain cases, but you got to have a natural ability for some stuff. All right. I'm not sure this logo for this school here, the cornerback, but I know this is the guy from Georgia. Yeah, this is the guy from Georgia right here, the receiver. So let's see what happens. All right, so they're in a slot. All right, they're in a slot. I like this guy's stance, the corner stance. I like to see him maybe slightly bit lower in the butt, but I like this right here. It's good stance, good quality stance, good flat back. This is what I was talking about between from him and the other guy. He has a nice flat back, which means energy will transfer properly, and you should be able to move rather smoothly in your lateral movements and vertical movements and all that stuff. Okay, so that's what that means. And so we got that. I like that. I like his depth here. He's about 1.5 yards to 2 yards off. I like that as well. The receivers, as well as running as well, they're getting away from them, not allowing the guys to step up and jam. I see what they're doing right here. They're kind of running, man. I don't necessarily like that. All right, here we go. Let's see. Okay. Okay. All right. I like this. Good solid feet. I don't like this crossover right here. See that? See the DB crossover right here? I don't like this. I like him to be able to kick over there, to be violent in his kick over there. But that goes back to not being wide enough in your stance. And then you can't sit down, which means you can't activate the glutes and the quads and your abductors and adductors. And you can't explode over and be violent when you're exploding over laterally. So that's why he couldn't kick, and that's why he had to cross over. But he seems to be pretty athletic here. So let's see what happens. I like him. I like him being able to I love this right here, this ability right here to be able to settle down and allow the receiver to make the move so you can react to it. Okay. Let's see how he does on it. You got to sit down. All right. So he was in a great spot up until he tried to put his hand on the guy. So he's in a good spot right here. All you got to do is just keep running with the guy, keep his eyes in the right spot, and he'll be good to go. The route going to come to him. He decided to put his hands on the guy, two-handsy, and now you over here airplaning with your hands. You got me? Run down to it. Another thing, remember, guys, the play is never over, okay? The play is never over. Now, this is the out route from the slot, all right? Which means that ball has got a ways to go, okay? Because the quarterback was on the opposite side. So which means the quarterback has a ways to go, or some other ways to go, which means you got time to get there. So don't quit on the ball. Just run. You got to run to it's a race. One of my colleagues, Jeff Johnson, always says that. He's a receiver guy, guru, produces a lot of NFL receivers, and he always say it's a race to the ball. And so we applied that and we use that as well. It's a race to the ball, man. You have to race to the ball. Don't quit. Keep your eyes on the receiver. Drive, drive, drive. That was a good job by the receiver there, coming back to the quarterback and being very quarterback friendly. So that's a good one. Here we go. Let's get us one more right here. I won't do too much at a time. All right, so they're in the slot again. All right, they're in the slot again. Now he's in the slot. He's playing outside leverage. I'm sure. I guess I do know why. He's playing outside leverage. This is the normal principles here, right? You're playing this guy against a receiver at Arizona. All right. You're playing outside leverage on the receiver, right? The quarterback is this close, which means that the receiver is like right on top of the tight end right there. He's like in that area right there, right? He's split between the tight end and the number one receiver. Okay, so yes, you should be playing outside leverage here. He did the right thing. Unfortunately, the unfortunate part about this, I don't know what this looks like here in the end, but I would say that if the receiver takes the inside route, it's just, I mean, it happens sometimes in real football, but also, like I said, they're just taking advantage of the space and they're not running technical, routes that they would normally run when they were in a situation like this if it was 11 on 11. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. All right, outside leverage, cool. You kick step. All right, cool. You kick over. I don't like that crossover. See that? You see that cross his feet? That's bad, bro. That's really bad. He's weird off leverage. Now, the only thing that's saving him right now is because the receiver's trying to get to a point, get to his spot. He's going to let the DB lean on him. But if he wouldn't let the DB lean on him, he would have been a bad, bad spot. Okay? He'd probably be on the ground somewhere. That's not bad defense as far as finishing. I like to see rip that ball out of there. But, let me tell you something. This is how football is a game of inches is real life here. Watch this here. All right. He loses a step here. See this? This step, he's lost here. All right. Now, that same step, because he had good coverage on the end of it, that same step would have got him right here in front of the receiver. It's a pick. It's a pick. Trust me, the game is just like this. These are the inches that we're talking about. This is the efficiency that we talk about. Okay, this is it. All right. If you try your best to do 10 things, eight out of 10 things right, when it's time for the ball to get there, it'll be in your hands. All right, as a defensive back. Okay. So I hope this helps. We'll get some more tomorrow. All right. Here we go. At DB Lab Coach Vic. We out. Yeah.